Hi everybody, it's Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and I'm here for you today with a moment of clarity. So, let's see. We are going through some really interesting energy right now, some really challenging energy right now. And so for those of you that didn't check out my video yesterday, make sure you go back and check that out because there's a lot of important messages about the energy, about how we can best navigate this week based on the energy. And so it's going to be a really important video for you to watch. And before we dive into the messages for today, I want to just talk about, make sure that if you guys aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, that you get subscribed because I have all of my July Taroscopes up on there. I post all of my videos on there, so if you miss anything on here, you will find it on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you get yourself signed up, subscribed, set up for that so that you don't miss anything, because I find that here on Facebook, I don't know, the algorithms are changing all the time. The videos just don't seem to be reaching people on the same level, and you want to make sure that you catch all of my videos, right? So let's dive into the messages for today. I'm going to talk about forcing things because I just think right now, a lot of us are trying to do that. Hi, DeAndre. Thanks for watching. And make sure you guys say hi if you're watching. And I think that there's a little bit of that energy right now. And I think there's a lot of need for clarity around these things, right? We're trying to force things. We're trying to make things happen and feeling anxious about it if it's not happening for us. And that can really be challenging, especially in this energy that we have going on right now. And so it makes me think about my biggest, what I would call failure, the biggest thing I've ever tried to force. And that is, for those of you that aren't familiar, I have a motivational speaking event that I hold every year called Clarity Connects. And we've been super, super successful with that locally and have had lots of people come. People really love the event. And so actually in our second year, my former business partner and I, Nicole, decided that we were going to plan an event outside of our local area. So we tried to plan an event about 3 hours from here in Buffalo. So we tried to go set that up. We tried to get that done. And from the very beginning, I started to get all kinds of signs that this was not going to work, right? So we initially had a couple of people who were interested, who lived in the area, who wanted to help, and then that kind of fell through. It didn't, the day that we had decided upon didn't work with their schedules, and then we started to take some trips up there to try to get things set, and there was just problem after problem, even down to me getting pulled over on the way to there and actually getting a ticket. And I think I got in 2 car accidents that same day. It was pretty brutal, right? So there was just a lot of signs that were saying this wasn't going to work. And then ticket sales just weren't happening. There just wasn't any energy around it, no matter how much work we were putting into it, no matter how much we were doing. And so we were about 3 weeks before the event, and we called and we asked the venue about ticket sales. And they told us that we had sold 2 tickets. So I want to have you guys keep in mind that both of my aunts had bought tickets to the event. So basically, we had sold tickets to my aunts, and that was it. That was the entire ticket sales for the event, right? So we had to cancel it, right? It wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to be, we just knew that it wasn't going to happen at that point, 3 weeks out. We just didn't have a momentum. It wasn't happening. And it was such a lesson, right? And I learned so much through it, and it was a really important experience for me to have. It was an expensive lesson for me to learn, but I learned a lot. But through the whole process, I can look back and I can see where there were signs that I shouldn't have been doing it. I can see where I was trying to force it and force it and force it, and it wasn't the right timing for an out-of-town event. We were just learning how to plan events, and I didn't know anything about that. And you can manifest and manifest and manifest, but if it's not right, it's not right. If it's not right for you, it's not right. And so I want you guys to keep that in mind with anything in your life right now that you are trying to force, anything you're trying to manifest, anything that you're trying to make happen that isn't happening for you. If you're doing all the work, if you're putting all of the energy into it, or most of the energy into it, and you just feel like you're chasing something, you know, whether it's a job, a relationship, something you're working on, the answer to your question, you know, an apology, other people's behaviors. I mean, anything that you're trying to force, anything that you're trying to make happen. Here's the problem when we try to force things. We actually oftentimes will energetically block ourselves. We will set it up where the very things that we're trying to manifest, the very things that we're trying to control and make happen, we actually shut it down because we are trying to control it. And the way that the universe, the way that energy works is if you're trying to control something, if you're trying to force it, it will shut that energetically down oftentimes, or it will slow the process down. So even if it's not happening for you right now, there is such a thing as divine timing. And if the timing isn't right, it's simply not going to happen for you right now. And no amount of trying to control it, no amount of chasing it, no amount of trying to force it is going to make it happen. And so sometimes you have to say, you know what? I've done my manifesting. I've set my intentions. I've put that energy out there, and I'm going to just trust that it's going to come when it's going to come, period, the end. You know, we've got to just trust that it will happen. We have to have some faith. This is forcing us to flex our faith muscles. This is forcing us to just really call in these energies and invite in this faith and invite God to just take over and either bring that to us or bring something better our way, because sometimes we get blocked. Sometimes it's not happening for us because there's something better that's meant for us. There's something bigger that's meant for us. You know, maybe you're chasing after this job and you want this particular job, but really there's a better job out there that God knows about that's way better for you. And if you keep trying to force this one job and not surrender that and not hand that over, then the other job can't come your way. So there needs to be this trust. We need to allow this to happen. And so at the end of the day, all we can really do is say our prayers, set our intentions for what it is that we would like to have happen. When I'm setting intentions, when I'm doing my manifestations, one of the most important things that I like to include is I'm asking for this or something better. Because if you leave that room, if you leave that space and you set your intention and then surrender it to your higher power, this is where real magic happens. So I hope that you guys take that message. I hope that it gives you some clarity during this time of crazy and challenging energy, but beautiful energy, because on the other side of this, we are just going to understand ourselves, our situations, our lives so much better. So if this video connected for you, make sure that you share that or tag a friend or invite them to watch below. I always appreciate that. That's how my videos reach all of the people that they need to reach. If you want to learn more about me or about Clarity by Christy, you can check me out at discoveryawakening.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and take care.